Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We're going to talk a little bit about Texas de Peru and the Kausay Wasi Clinic today. For those of you who are watching us live, thank you so much. And those of you who are watching us on replay, thank you for downloading and taking a look at this video. Got a very special treat today. As you know, from a Texas de Peru perspective, we send teams down to Peru every summer to do surgical missions. Well, none of that is possible without the Kausay Wasi Clinic. And our special treat today is we've got Guido del Prado, who's the co-founder of the Kausay Wasi Clinic. They've been operating about 19 years. And without what they're doing, we couldn't do what we do. And without what they've been doing for the last 19 years or so, 30,000 plus patients per year couldn't possibly get the healthcare that they need. Anyway, Guido, welcome. Glad to have you.
Thank you very much, Kevin. It's a pleasure being with you today.
Now, Guido and I have known each other now, what, 29 years?
About 30 years, I would say. Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Absolutely.
So I'm gonna sound a little bit canned and hammy as I ask these questions, but I think, and I know a lot of the stories, and I always enjoy you telling them. But I think the folks that are watching this will probably get a kick out of it as well. So can you share with us what inspired you to establish the Kausay Wasi Clinic with you and Sandy?
Sure, Kevin. I mean, it's sometimes incredible that countries like Peru have such a deficient system and the field of health that sometimes it's absolutely unbelievable. The hospitals where we are located are totally overtaken by deficiency, not willingness to help people, and we have hundreds, literally, of folks who have been waiting for months at a time to get any primary care by the Peruvian health system, Kevin. They're totally overwhelmed. And so when we saw people waiting in the state hospitals for care for months, we were inspired to build our own clinic, and with the help of doctors and organizations like you, we're able to do it.
That's I'm sad that there's a need, but it sure is an inspiring story that you were able to establish the clinic and do something about it. Can you kind of go through some of the most pressing healthcare challenges specifically that the clinic sees and faces?
Well, one of the things that you see, a lot of people need urgent care.
Yeah.
2 months ago, we had this campaign scheduled for people who had problems with their gallbladder, and they have also problems with their hernias. Before that, we had women come in to the clinic with literally their uterus, hanging between their legs, if you will. And they've been waiting for a long time for the system to take care of them. They couldn't access to what we call a cupo, an appointment to see a doctor. Well, when you have like Texas de Peru and the Boston team that come down and take care of people right away, I mean, that is what we need to do every day. And we don't have that facility. The system cannot absorb these cases. They're sometimes, not sometimes, but most of them are emergency cases, Kevin.
Yeah.
And our doctors, are able to come down, and we have to turn away people who are in need of a surgery. And we simply cannot take care of everybody. But our clinic relieves some of the pressure that the hospitals in Cusco are under.
Gotcha. You spoke of it just a little bit in the previous question about patients who had gallbladder issues and had prolapse issues. Are there other specialties that are commonly that you're hosting there at the clinic from a specialty care standpoint?
Oh, absolutely, Kevin. Like the children who have cleft palates and lips, are children usually from low income backgrounds. Well, operating a child with a problem with their lip or cleft palate, it's not very financially rewarding for anybody, because first of all, these families don't have the money to pay
Mm.
for a plastic surgeon to fix them. And we have people from the Miami Children's Hospital who will willingly go out there and operate hundreds of kids. They're very much in need of that, Kevin. But since this is not a life-threatening problem, the system in Peru kind of puts it in the back burner.
Mm.
But the complication here is that if you don't take care of a child with a cleft palate or lip at an early stage of their lives, you will basically have to take care of this problem, longitudinally for about 18 years, because the complications are such that they will require multiple operations, or you'll just have to wait until the bones in your body and your face are totally complete, done,
You know,
and the growth is adequate. So when you make an operation, when you operate a kid or a teenager, if you will, you won't have to operate again for the rest of their lives, because at this time the bones are already set.
you raise an interesting point there. You're taking a long-term view of taking care of patients there. It's not necessarily just an acute situation, and that takes a real commitment to take that long view of it. Can you kind of give me a sense of what the long-term goals are and the vision for the future of the Kausay Wasi Clinic? And I hope you'll talk about the new building a little bit too.
Sure enough, Kevin, we are basically trying to fit a let's say an 11 size shoe into a 7. So we don't have the facility. We don't have enough space to take care of all the people who come and need our help. So we are building a new clinic that hopefully will operate 24/7, and we'll have medical teams who will come down and volunteer their services to make operations feasible and free, if you will, for the people who really need it. That's what we're doing. So to meet that goal, we are building a new clinic about 5 minutes away from where we are, in a little town that's called Lamay, and we have to recategorize with the Ministry of Health. So they will allow us to do surgeries and have a post-op patients.
And you've already broken ground on that. We saw when we were last down there, they were clearing the land. They were making the land suitable for building foundation on it. The walls around the property were built. Where are we at now?
Well, we have built a perimeter wall around property. Now we are beginning to see and start basically the foundation at this point, Kevin. But we pay quite a bit of money for that piece of land because land is pretty scarce in the area for this type of project that we want to accomplish. And we are about 10% at this point, Kevin. Mm-hmm. But the main problem is that we have to be careful how we spend our money, because we have very limited sources and the contributors are not that generous at this point. And I hope to find someone who will come out and say, okay, you're building a cost-effective hospital, if you will, And here is whatever contribution. We get contributions of 2,000, 10,000 at the most, about 20,000. But we need to capture someone who will be willing to invest $500,000 in a project that's really worthwhile, because the Kausay Wasi Clinic for the past 20 years, Kevin, has treated more than 450,000 patients, and we have performed more than 3,000 operations with our medical teams coming from the United States. So we want to keep the momentum. We want to encourage people to donate some funds. We are a tax exempted organization in the States, and we could give them credit for any donor that wants to donate to the clinic.
Well, my hope is some of the viewers of this video are going to be felt led to donate. I've got a scrolling website in Chiron below our screen, so people can go to those sites and make donations. I know, and you haven't shared with us yet, but I do know that there is a naming opportunity for donors who want to name and leave a lasting legacy, literally on the walls of the building, to name courtyards and ORs and exam rooms and patient care areas after individuals and companies. It's a tremendous opportunity to be recognized for the generosity that folks are showing to help sustain this clinic. Shifting gears for just a little bit, if you were a healthcare professional, or we have a lot of healthcare professionals that are looking at volunteering, what advice would you offer them if they're thinking about doing a volunteer effort, either at the Kausay Wasi Clinic or even someplace else? Any thoughts or advice, or some advice specifically about volunteering at Kausay Wasi?
Well, I think they should volunteer at the Kausay Wasi Clinic, first of all.
I do too.
There's no other organization who will welcome and make him feel good. I mean, when you go to missions like yours, Kevin, the feedback that I get is from the professionals is that you really practice medicine here. You are not constrained not to explore and put to work your innovative thoughts and solutions to problems that you encounter while you're participating in a campaign, and that's very much needed. People need to be treated with dignity. People need to be treated with a lot of warmth, if you will, and Peruvians are welcome. Human beings who will be at your service to make you feel good and appreciate what you do for them. That's it. So in Kausay Wasi, it's in a small organization, but if you want to do something good and you want to feel good and you want to repay the tremendous amount of luck that you had throughout your life, and you want to donate some of your time and the skills, do so. Come to the Kausay Wasi Clinic. We welcome your service.
Amen to that. And whether or not it's through our team, the Texas Day Peru, or some other way of donating your time and volunteering at Kausay Wasi, I guarantee you, from my personal experience, it's life-changing. It really, really is. Not only for the patients, obviously, but for the individuals that volunteer. It's become their passion project for so many people who have volunteered. We have people that 13 years ago volunteered for the first time and still come every year because it just means that much to them.
Absolutely.
So one final question. Do you have a message that you would like to share with the audience about the importance of access to healthcare in general as a fundamental human right, and how we can all contribute, and how we can contribute specifically and help the people around Kausay Wasi?
I think that if Maslow would have had to redefine his hierarchical needs, if you will, he will have to say that health is the stepstone for anything that you want to do in life later on. Health is so important, Kevin. If you have societies, if you have countries that have good health programs, you know, the rest of them will come along. You could do anything you want. But there are certain things that you encounter in your life that cannot be resolved unless you have someone that's knowledgeable and wants to help you out with it. And we have made so many small operations that life changing. You've seen the hundreds of women that have gone through, you know, the OBGYN campaign, for instance,
Mm-hmm.
that they've been waiting for someone to fix their uterus. I mean, it's a very simple, basic human need. You don't need to drag your uterus between your legs for years and years and years because of some problem that you had when you were young and you were birthing, if you will. You repair that, and that human being begins to function again at 100%. You know, it's a life-changing experience if you are in the health field and you want to repay back some of the beautiful things that have happened to you during your lifetime. You know, donate a little bit of your time and your mind and your heart to the people who really need it.
Great thoughts, Guido. I really appreciate you sharing that. And I really appreciate you spending some time with me this morning and the audience. Again, if you would like to donate to the Kausay Wasi Clinic, go to www.kausaywasi.org. The listing is below. And also you can go through Capital City Medical Teams. All donations are tax deductible. And you can specify donating to the building fund or just to the Kausay Wasi Clinic in general. And again, if you know somebody who's a big donor to foundation that might be interested in some naming rights for some of the aspects of the clinic, we would love to talk to you about them. And if anybody's looking to volunteer and go down with the team, talk to me. I can help you with that. Guido, thank you so much for spending time with us.
Thank you very much.
It has been a pleasure working with you over the last 13 years, and it's certainly changed my life. And it's just been a pleasure, and I always enjoy talking to you.
Kevin, we need people like you. More.
That's kind of you.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. You have a good day.
Thanks. All right, don't go anywhere.
All right.